Hey guys, we are back and we are playing Kerbal Space Program. Um, let's just say that I attempted to make it to the moon quite a few times already, and I'm just bringing you guys in right now because we may or may not be able to make it to the moon. Uh, we should be able to. Now, whether or not we make it back is a completely different story. Extend that a little bit. Yeah, that's good. Um, Now, I'm not exactly sure how well this is going to go. So I figured I'd just bring you guys in after we got off the ground and into orbit. I've already transferred all of my fuel from this center module right here to these tanks just to get us out to the moon, and then whatever I have extra, I'll put back into that tank. But we shall see if that is even the case. So we are pointing here. We're going to just start using our RCS fuel right now because there's quite a lot of we're going for quite a ways. So we're gonna wait until this little node gets right on top of our prograde, and then we're gonna start our burn to hopefully get to the moon. Um, I've been having some difficulty for some unknown reason. I mean, I've gotten to the moon before and I've done that, but I don't know why I cannot. I just for the life of me cannot successfully get into orbit without burning almost all of my fuel, and I just don't know what's going on. So we're just gonna attempt to make it to the moon anyways, and then we'll fix our problems as we run into them. So we're gonna go ahead and start our burn right now, and it's a long burn. Awesome, that's always good. So in other words, we're probably gonna waste all of our fuel getting out to the moon. It's not looking promising, I can tell you that. So yeah, I really hope we don't burn through all of our fuel to get out there. Once we get to about 50 meters per second change right here, I'm probably going to just use our RCS thrusters just to save as much fuel as I possibly can, if we even have fuel at that time, because we need fuel because we're going to get to the moon, but we're going to bounce off of it basically, or wrap around it, and we're just going to shoot away from it. So we need fuel when we get there to adjust the orbit around the moon, and then we can transfer what's left of the fuel back. Now, whether or not that's gonna work or not is I have no idea. I'm just kind of hoping that I can get to the moon and going from there. All right. So we're gonna use our RCS thrusters now, just because very minimal adjustments here. We're gonna actually look at our map here, and we're going to if that node didn't work, then I'm confused. Because we should be getting into the moon's gravity by now. It's just not having it. Huh. Mm. There we go. We get about 50. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this. And that's where we're at. So we're going to go ahead and quick save. And considering we have almost no fuel left, we're going to go ahead and try to get into orbit around the moon. I hope it works. This has been a lot more difficult than it needs to be. I've noticed that I've been saying that a lot. In almost every episode, I end up saying, this has been a lot more difficult than it needed to be. And that seems to be the case, usually, is that everything is being a lot more difficult than usual. What the hell's the moon? Oh, there it is. Alright, so I crashed last time whenever I hit this node, so we're going to actually slow down to almost 1. I wish this didn't go so slow. And Slow down to 1 and let it go over by itself because it's, I don't know why, but it seems to want to crash every time the orbits switch for some reason. But it doesn't really matter because we may or may not be able to get into orbit around the moon. So I guess we'll find out. All right, now it should be able to switch over without crashing too hard, I hope. Come on. Come on. Switch. You know you want to. That's not very what I really wanted it to do, but we can adjust that as soon as it switches over, which it is now, and it's looking like it might. Oh, there we go. Thought it was going to crash. All right, so we're going to add a maneuver, and we are going to hopefully turn this into an orbit, even if it's a big, stupid orbit. I have no idea what's going on right now. Add a maneuver. If we slow down, it should go. There we go. 9 seconds, 10 seconds, 39, 163, 77. That's a little too close for comfort, if you ask me. 50,000. If I'm at 50,000, I'll be happy. How did that go so quick? One way. $45. I could deal with that. And we'll adjust it whenever we get back to that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and fast forward. It's only a 10-second burn. So I'm hoping that 10 seconds isn't going to screw us for the long term here. Now, whether or not it glitched and doesn't show the moon. Oh, there's the moon. Sweet. Alright, so we want to point at the node here, which I have a feeling is going to be this way. And I was correct. Stop spinning so fast. Alright. And what we're going to actually do is that we might actually end up just using our RCS fuel to slow us down like that. Because 10 seconds, I mean, I'm trying to save as much fuel as I possibly can. Because if we don't, we won't be landing on the moon. We've gotten out here, but we need to be able to land on the moon too. Alright, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Alright. Camera's freaking out. We're gonna start our, actually, screw it. I guess I didn't have to do that right there, but we'll wait, make it more sound here. Alright, we're cutting it because I'm trying to save as much as my rocket fuel as I possibly can. Alright, so we're at the moon, which is a good thing, but we also need to make sure that our orbit is pretty damn perfect because we're going to need to rendezvous back up with our command module. And I am not sure. Yeah, it is. Cool. We need to rendezvous back with our command module. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the 126 liters of fuel that are left in this tank. We're going to not extend the lander. We're going to add it into here. Though it may not be much, it should be, I'm hoping that it'll be enough to land. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to adjust our apoapsis and everything because I want to make sure that we can rendezvous back up with it easily without wasting fuel. So we're going to go ahead and start burning retrograde here. shrinking this apoapsis back. We're probably gonna do 50-50, hopefully 50,000 and 50,000, just because it'll just be easier that way. So anyways, we got out to the moon, guys. Now whether or not I almost guarantee we're not getting back. Well, actually, I do guarantee that we're not getting back. But if we can land on the moon, we could fly another shuttle out here to an unmanned shuttle with nothing but fuel to fuel up our command module. But what I want to do definitely is make sure that we land on the moon, take off from the moon, rendezvous back with our command module, and then, and only then, will we call it a success. Because if not, then we're not going to be able to refuel our command module with our rostronauts. So, like, we're going to have to. It's going to be interesting. This might be a long episode, mainly because I'm saving as much fuel as I possibly can by using RCS. I mean, we only have 846 liters of fuel, and that's got to be enough to deorbit us, land safely on the surface of the moon, and then take off and rendezvous back with our command module, which it very well may not be enough fuel to do that. But if we can get onto the moon successfully, I think that'll be a big battle won, and then we can adjust. We can go back and fix it later. But I mean, and by later I mean what we could do is if we get the module on the surface of the moon, we could just leave it there, and then have our. Actually, no, we're gonna have to rendezvous back with the command module, unless we have another lander land that has enough room in it to pick up two Kerbinauts or Kerbonauts, and then take off and then rendezvous with the command module. So this is gonna be this isn't a complete fail yet, but it's pretty close. Man. Yeah, so sorry that I'm using my RCS fuel to do this, and I wish I could fast forward and use my RCS fuel to do this, but I unfortunately cannot. And hopefully we'll also land on the light side of the moon, or the side of the moon that's bright or being lit by the sun right now. Actually, you know what? I wonder if it's even called the sun. How did I think about it? Oh, doesn't have a name. Lame. Because the moon is called the moon, MUN, which I think was kind of funny. So I figured that they would rename the sun, but spell it differently somehow. And it just got done thunderstorming. Lightning was striking that I kept hearing it in my headphones, like the electric, like it sounded like a current was going through my headphones, which I thought was entertaining while I was trying to figure out whether or not we were going to be able to do this mission. So yeah, but now it's done and it looks kind of nice out, except for the rivers that are running now because of the all the rain that we just got. Is this adjusting pitch too? Because it looks like it is. Oh yeah, it totally is. Let's do this. Pitch that back down. Yeah, that sounds like a way better idea. Let's do that. Wasn't paying attention because I've been holding the freaking RCS button, or the thruster button for the RCSs, for so long. We might just do 100,000 because, yeah, we're just gonna do 100,000 because I think it'll be easier to mess with everything, and it won't take nearly as long. I mean, we're still gonna have to adjust this. We're still gonna have to adjust the periapsis, but if we put it at 100,000, I think that'll be sufficient. And we're still gonna be pretty much using the same amount of time to do it, unfortunately. But I figured I'd keep you guys in and let you see how difficult this has been for me. Not only the fact that getting into orbit for some reason has been a freaking challenge for me, but the fact of the matter is that now that we're at the moon, we almost have no fuel to complete our mission, And there's absolutely no way that we're going to be able to go back, or we're going to be able to return to Kerbin. And, oh, a little too much. Ooh. All right, I can deal with that. We're going to fast forward and adjust our periapsis, because right now it's at 30,000 feet, or 30,000 meters, and I don't want it to be that close. And we want to retrograde, rather. We want retrograde again. And we want it, I think, on this side, but I could be wrong. Just to, I guess we'll see. Start burning here. Can't really tell. We'll add a maneuver and find out. Nope, that's not what we want. So, never mind. Scratch that. Alright. Yeah, I'm doing it the wrong way. I'm an idiot. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. I'm an idiot. It's okay. I've come to this realization quite a few times. Don't worry about me. I'm just not paying attention. I need to extend my periapsis, so I need to point prograde, not retrograde. I'm dumb. It's fine. Don't mind me. I'm just making mistakes as we go, because that's what I do, apparently. So, we're going to try to get this out to 100,000. Now, that's going to take a minute, but then we're going to make sure that everything's copacetic as the orbit goes, and what we'll probably end up doing, I'm trying to make this as easy as possible to rendezvous back with the command module, because we may or may not be able to get back to the command module. So I want to make the orbit as symmetrical as possible. I want to make it as flat as possible, so that whenever we do take off from the surface of the moon, it's a very, very easy to rendezvous back with the command module. Because if it's easy to rendezvous back with the command module, then we won't be using a lot of fuel to do it. Now, whether or not I'm successful in that endeavor is completely up to my ability to play this game, which is not very good. But so we're gonna make this a nice symmetrical, hopefully, a nice symmetrical orbit, which it's kind of screwing with me right now because we're past the apoapsis. But we're gonna get this back up. We're gonna get this up to 100,000. And we're going to tilt the whole orbit, and then we're going to disconnect our moon lander and go from there. So 95, 96. All right, we're going to wait until we get to our periapsis. We're actually going to make a maneuver and adjust the whole dang tilt this thing. That's looking pretty good, actually. Right there. Alright, so we want retrograde. We're fast forwarding right now. I wasn't paying attention. So we want retrograde, and so we want on the other side of the globe, and we need to find the node. There it is. So we want to do half and half so we can get... Actually, we might not need to. Nope. Cool. This is a bit of a pain. But like I said, the nicer we make this orbit, the easier it will be to rendezvous. Therefore, the less fuel that we'll use, or we'll be using. At least I'm hoping that'll be the case. This is a pain. Usually the RCS thrusters do a lot more than this. Usually. And I really don't want to use any fuel whatsoever from the rockets, because if I do, I'll end up screwing myself. Not to mention that I am running out of monoprop fuel, which is RCS fuel. So actually what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and call this good. We're gonna point retrograde and adjust this. You know what? No, we're not, because we're wasting too much fuel doing that. Alright, so we have, what we want to do is we want to actually get the command module situated in a way that it'll be easy to rendezvous back up with it. So, say right about there. We're going to remove this node because it doesn't really matter anymore. And we want to make sure that we have the right astronauts in here. We do. Okay, here comes the moment of truth. You know what? We're going to quick save real quick. And Bob is in the command module, and we are going to go ahead and decouple. Godspeed, guys. We'll see you on the other side. Maybe. Alright, so what we're going to want to do is we're going to, since that's our apoapsis, we want to, probably when we get out to about here, I'm going to go burn retro. For how long will that be? And we want to come in almost straight up and down. I honestly do not care where we come in, but we want to come in for the most part straight up and down. And preferably on the, ooh, we can actually, let's see if we can get it roughly in this crater. That'll be cool. I think this crater is even deeper, but whatever. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and fast forward. Goodbye, command module. We will be seeing you again, hopefully. And we're coming to our, what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up going retrograde. About yay, roughly. Jebediah is stoked, as always. Good to have him back with us, too. Oh, great. This whole thing is out of monoprop fuel. Son of a bitch. Probably should have figured that one out beforehand. That's okay. We'll be alright. Hopefully. And it's a 7-second burn. Maybe. Minus that. Minus. Okay, I guess we're not going to do that. Stop fast forwarding. Need to fire these rockets. Alright, I'm calling that good for right now. I don't know why my camera keeps freaking out on me. Get rid of that. And we're gonna do it, we're gonna figure it out by ourselves from here on out. We're not gonna use our modules. So we're gonna actually wait, fast forward anyways, until we get to a reasonable altitude. We'll say is about 50. So, because right now we're starting to come in almost straight up and down, which is a good thing. What we're actually going to do is not do that because we don't have any RCS fuel. Because I don't know why I pointed that out earlier, but I don't know. So we're going to start slowing down because we're going pretty quick right now. So we're going to start burning to slow ourselves down. Exit. Because I still want to land in this crater. But I also don't want to land at 400 meters per second. Now this is the moment of truth, guys. We may or may not have enough fuel to do this. Cut that. Are we gaining speed still? Yes, we are. Okay, so let's fast forward a little bit. We'll get down to like 30,000 or 20,000. Let's get down to 30. All right. And now it's going to be a mad rush to slow down. Alright, we lost 100 meters per second pretty quick. In about 6,000 meters, we lost 100,000 meters per second. So, fast forward a little bit more. Alright, now I need to slow down. Cut the engines again. We're going to turn on our lights. We're going to put our gear down, or our legs down. And we're going to, we're not gaining too much speed. We're about 10,000 feet up, which isn't bad. Usually you can see your shadow to kind of give you an idea of how high up you are. But we are landing in this crater. We're going to wait a little bit longer. Start burning. I don't want to use my fuel at all, pretty much, is the main thing. Ooh, this is a rough little landscape here. Still going about 100 meters per second. I am like panicking right. Quick save. Yeah, I'm like panicking right now, so don't mind me. I haven't landed on the moon in a while, because that could have been completely different. Away from this edge a little bit. I'm surprised that we do have as much fuel as we do. Probably because these engines are very little. We are landing at the lowest point I think I've ever landed in the moon, or on the moon. 19 meters per second. Where's our shadow? Oh, it's coming up quick. Oh, no, going back up. Don't want to do that. I also want to stop moving sideways. Stop going up. need to figure out why I am... Alright. Alright, sorry, this is... I am freaking out right now. Whoa, why I touched... Oop. Oh, there we go. Holy crap. Alright. We're on the surface of the moon. Thank God. Oh. Talk about stressing out. Turn that on. Open our solar panels. We have our engine cut. There we go. Extend our ladder. Oh man. I'm alright. I'm okay. We still have 400 liters of fuel. Jebediah, I believe you, sir, should be the first of the Kerbin people on the surface of the moon. Alright, Jebediah. Yeah, there we go. Look at you! Look at you, Jebediah! You're on the moon! You're on the moon, Jebediah. You should be stoked right now. That's a pretty sweet picture. Alright, wait. We want you to face this way, Jebediah. There we go. We're going to screen capture that guy. Bam! I think that was the right buttons. Alright. Cool. Well, we're on the moon, on the surface of the moon, guys. Granted, we're out of fuel, but that's, yeah, it's a technicality. I'm not too worried about it. Let's go ahead and let's get Bill out here. Let's get Bill. He should be able to enjoy this as well. Get Bill out here and frolic around with and have fun as well. Let go, Jet. Let go. There we go. All right, Bill. Look at that. You're on the surfaces of the moon as well. You guys are freaking killing it right now. The first Kerbals to be on the moon, surface of the moon. That's pretty sweet. I don't know about what you guys think. Look how stoked they are right now. I'm assuming that's all they say, ever. At least I'm assuming that's all they say. And we're gonna swap to Jebediah. I think this is Jebediah. Yes, this is Jebediah. We're gonna have Jebediah plant the flag of our nation, which I haven't decided what the name of that. We're the Pyker Nation. Yeah, we'll call it the Pyker Nation. Why not? Screw it. First Kerbals to land on the moon, and we're gonna go ahead and plant a flag to commemorate this. There we go. There's our site name. First landing on moon. There we go. It's the first landing on the moon, and the plaque will say, "This is where the first Kerbinauts of the Pyker Nation landed on the moon for the first time. Jebediah and Bill Kerbin will be forever remembered for this astounding achievement." There we go. All right. Well, that's it for this episode, guys. Next episode, we gotta figure out how the hell to get these guys back home, and I believe that's gonna be quite a challenge, actually. So, I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and like the videos and leave comments, please. I will see you guys next time.